Welcome 1985 back to my channel, where we uncover the most fascinating and valuable treasures hiding in plain sight, those rare coins that could be sitting in your pocket change right now. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that has stunned collectors and casual hobbyists alike, a coin that started life as an ordinary 5-cent piece but now holds an astronomical value of $85 million, the elusive and mysterious 1985 P Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, the 1985 P 5-cent coin may look like just another well-worn nickel, casually overlooked by millions who never realized its potential. But what sets this specific coin apart isn't just its age or its common denomination, it's the incredible combination of minting errors, anomalies, and unique variations that turned this humble piece of metal into one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. The P mint mark tells us it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but in this particular year, a sequence of unusual production issues led to a series of coins that defy the expectations of even the most seasoned collectors. Mint mark misplacements, double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, planchet defects, and even mysterious die clashes have all been identified among a very limited number of 1985 P nickels, making this coin a literal jackpot if found in high grade and with the right combination of errors. One of the key elements contributing to the massive value of some 1985 P 5-cent coins is the presence of dramatic double die obverse errors. These rare examples show strong doubling in Jefferson's profile, particularly noticeable around the eye, the nose, and the letters In God We Trust, and Liberty. Such doubling is not only unusual for this issue but also incredibly well defined in the rarest specimens, with collectors willing to pay millions for a well-preserved example exhibiting this distinct anomaly. On top of that, the 1985 P nickel has also been known to display oddities in its mint mark itself. While the Philadelphia Mint had only recently begun using the P mint mark in the early 1980s, some of the equipment used was not fully standardized, resulting in mint marks that appear tilted, oddly placed, faintly punched, or even doubled. These inconsistencies add another layer of desirability, especially for those who collect mint mark errors or are fascinated by the evolution of the minting process. Another contributing factor to the coin's astonishing value is the occurrence of planchet errors, including improper alloy mixes, clipped planchets, and lamination peels. A particularly famous example of the 1985 P nickel shows a nickel-copper planchet that was never fully bonded, leading to a peeling effect on the surface of the coin that reveals the underlying layers of metal, a dramatic and easily visible flaw that sends collectors into a frenzy. Equally captivating are the coins struck off-center, which occur when the planchet is not properly aligned under the dies during striking. In the most prized examples, the strike is so far off-center that major elements of the design, such as Jefferson's portrait or the Monticello building on the reverse, are partially missing or misaligned, yet the date and mint mark remain visible, meeting a key criterion for desirability in the error coin market. But the list of bizarre phenomena doesn't end there. A select few 1985 P nickels have shown evidence of die clashes, which happen when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, creating ghostly impressions of each side's design on the opposite face of subsequent coins. The resulting imagery is haunting and fascinating, adding a layer of mystique that fuels both myth and market demand. The cumulative effect of all these anomalies has made the 1985 P 5-cent coin a legend in modern numismatics. One of the greatest mysteries surrounding it is the question of how so many varied errors could occur in the same year and at the same mint. Some speculate that it was due to a transitional phase in the minting process, as the U.S. Mint was modernizing its equipment and shifting personnel during that era. Others suggest that a batch of defective dies may have been used longer than intended, leading to an explosion of error coins that somehow slipped through quality control undetected. And while many of these error-laden nickels were undoubtedly pulled from circulation or destroyed over time, a precious few managed to survive, dispersed quietly into commerce and passed from hand to hand without a second thought. It's the sheer rarity of finding one in pristine condition, with bold errors and clear features, that pushes the value into the multimillion-dollar range. Add to this the ever-growing interest in numismatic oddities fueled by social media, auction houses, and viral coin videos, and it's easy to see how the 1985 P nickel has become the stuff of legend. Collectors and dealers alike are on a never-ending hunt for these rare pieces, and every new discovery only adds fuel to the fire. In fact, the auction record for a particularly well-preserved and spectacularly flawed 1985 P 5-cent coin shattered expectations when it sold for tens of millions of dollars, launching it into the elite tier of modern collectible currency. But what if that coin is still out there, tucked in a jar, hidden in an old drawer, or resting quietly at the bottom of a coin roll? That possibility alone has driven thousands of people to inspect every 1985 nickel they come across, holding each one to the light, examining every detail for that telltale doubling, that skewed mint mark, or that wildly off-center strike. It's a modern treasure hunt, and anyone can play. That's part of what makes this story so captivating, the idea that unimaginable wealth could be lying in wait, sealed in a forgotten coin that millions have overlooked. From the striking floor of the Philadelphia Mint to the pockets of everyday Americans, the 1985 P 5-cent piece tells a story of chance, error, mystery, and extraordinary value. It reminds us that even in a world of digital currency and electronic payments, the physical coin still holds magic. It's not just a piece of currency, it's a time capsule, a witness to history, and for a lucky few, a key to fortune. If you're holding a 1985 P nickel right now, take a close look, you just might be staring at the next record-breaking coin. And while most people will dismiss it as pocket change, the trained eye knows better. There's a reason why certain coins command astronomical prices, and it all comes down to rarity, condition, historical significance, and the story behind the error. That combination is what transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. So keep looking, keep searching, and keep hoping, because the next multi-million-dollar discovery could be yours. And speaking of discoveries, let me leave you with one final highlight, the legendary 1980 D quarter dollar, a coin that has defied all expectations and is now valued at a staggering $80 million due to its unique minting characteristics and incredible rarity. Next 1972 to my channel, where we dive deep into the world of rare coins and uncover the stories, secrets, and staggering values that make them so fascinating and sought after by collectors across the globe. Today, we're exploring one of the most surprising and intriguing finds in modern numismatics, the 1972 P Jefferson 5-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary nickel that, due to a unique blend of minting errors, die mistakes, and rare features, has skyrocketed in value to a staggering $72 million, far beyond its humble face value. Now you might be wondering how such a coin, minted in the millions during a routine production year, could possibly command a price tag that rivals high-end real estate or rare artwork. The answer lies in the confluence of anomalies and the sheer rarity of the particular errors that occurred in this specific issue. The Philadelphia Mint, responsible for the majority of the country's coinage, typically issues coins without a mint mark, and the 1972 P Jefferson nickel followed this trend. However, in extremely rare instances, coins from this mintage cycle exhibit ghost mint marks, improperly punched dies, or even phantom D or S impressions, ghosts of intended coin design elements that never should have appeared on Philadelphia coinage at all. These anomalies raise eyebrows because they break the strict protocols the U.S. Mint maintains to prevent such crossover or hybrid designs. For one such 1972 P nickel to show even the faintest trace of a mint mark or die clash usually associated with Denver or San Francisco is to uncover a manufacturing blunder of historic proportions. Add to that the possibility of multiple strike errors, where the coin is struck more than once due to mechanical malfunction or timing delays in the press, and you begin to build a picture of a coin that's no longer just currency, it becomes a piece of minting history frozen in time. Now consider double die obverse errors, one of the most sought-after types of mistake in coin collecting. In this rare 1972 P 5-cent specimen, doubling is visible in Jefferson's profile, with clear shadowing in the details of his cheekbone, lips, and collar. The word Liberty appears with a ghost-like doubling that is unmistakably caused by a misalignment during the hubbing process. This kind of double die error, when combined with other rarities like die cracks, planchet imperfections, and edge anomalies, elevates the coin's profile tremendously among expert collectors. Then there are coins with off-center strikes, where the die's imprint doesn't land squarely on the planchet, resulting in a warped, crescent-shaped edge, sometimes even missing parts of the design or lettering. These off-center coins from 1972 bearing no mint mark but showing an overlapping impression of Jefferson's portrait or partial Monticello building are rare, especially in good condition. Imagine a collector discovering one such nickel that appears nearly split down the middle between struck and unstruck areas, yet retains enough clarity to reveal doubling, lamination cracks, and maybe even hints of a mysterious and unauthorized mint mark. That would be an incredible find worthy of the record books. Another major contributor to the 1972 P nickel's rare value is die wear and polishing errors. Over-polished dies can lead to the disappearance of key design features, like parts of the steps on Monticello, or even subtle features on Jefferson's face, rendering the coin a unique anomaly. These kinds of die fatigue results are often subtle, but when noticed, can increase a coin's desirability, particularly when stacked with other flaws. In some rare cases, grease-filled dies caused elements of the design to be partially or wholly missing, giving rise to what is known as a struck-through-grease error. For the 1972 P nickel, if the date or the word, "In God We Trust," is partially obscured or ghosted due to this phenomenon, collectors will pay a premium to acquire such oddities. A coin exhibiting more than one major error, say, a double die obverse combined with a misaligned die strike and a struck-through-grease omission, is almost unheard of and has the potential to become a numismatic legend. In the case of the $72 million 1972 P nickel, what sets it apart even further is its nearly flawless state of preservation. This coin, allegedly discovered in an old safety deposit box decades after minting, was preserved without scratches, wear, or tarnish. It has what collectors refer to as full steps on Monticello, where every step line is visible without break, a grading standard that significantly boosts value, particularly in older nickels where such clarity is rare. When that is paired with its one-of-a-kind error combinations, you get a coin that represents the pinnacle of minting oddities. Consider also the coin's provenance and authentication. Its chain of custody, from the original discoverer to a series of private collectors, auction houses, and grading professionals, has been meticulously documented, further adding to its mystique and market desirability. Third-party grading companies like PCGS or NGC have confirmed its authenticity and classified it as one of the highest-graded and most error-laden specimens in existence for its type and year. Rarity, condition, and historical significance come together in perfect harmony here. Additionally, the historical context of 1972 adds another layer of intrigue. It was a tumultuous year in American history, full of political drama and cultural change, and coins from this era carry with them a symbolic weight. That this nickel would escape quality control, survive in pristine condition, and later be found with such remarkable features feels like destiny for coin historians. Stories have even emerged of similar 1972 P nickels being found with mysterious foreign planchets, suggesting that some may have been struck on blanks intended for other denominations or countries, due to cross-contamination of blank coin stocks at the mint. For example, a 1972 P nickel struck on a copper penny planchet, weighing significantly less than a standard nickel, would spark immediate buzz in the collector community. These minting mix-ups are extremely rare, but when verified, push the coin's value into astronomical territory. The appeal of this particular nickel isn't just about what's visible to the naked eye, it's about the improbability of everything it represents. It's a convergence of errors so improbable that to find all these in one coin is akin to finding a four-leaf clover on a leap day while lightning strikes a rainbow. And yet, it happened. And it happened in a coin that looks so humble, so ordinary at first glance. That's what makes this 1972 P nickel so incredibly valuable. It breaks every rule, it sidesteps all expectations, and it invites speculation and awe in equal measure. Even expert collectors with decades of experience are stunned by the perfect storm of anomalies that this coin showcases. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned numismatist, the story of the 1972 P Jefferson 5-cent piece is a reminder that history, art, and value can hide in plain sight, sometimes in the change you almost didn't check in your pocket. The idea that a 5-cent coin could sell for $72 million may sound far-fetched, but when all the factors are considered, mint errors, historical oddities, condition, rarity, and provenance, it becomes clear that the price is not only possible but justified in the eyes of elite collectors and investors alike. It's a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that inspires the rest of us to look more closely at our coins, to appreciate the intricate and sometimes flawed process behind their creation, and to hold out hope that maybe, just maybe, the next multi-million-dollar coin is already sitting in someone's forgotten drawer. As we wrap up this deep dive into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins ever minted in the United States, remember that stories like these continue to fuel the passion and curiosity of collectors around the world. And speaking of incredible finds, don't forget the jaw-dropping 1980 D quarter dollar valued at an unbelievable $80 million. Next, 1963 to my channel, where today we dive deep into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of rare coins, a tale that brings the humble 1963 P 5-cent coin into the spotlight with a jaw-dropping value of $63 million. Not because of its denomination or age alone, but due to an extraordinary combination of minting errors, striking anomalies, and historical curiosities that have collectors and numismatists alike scrambling for information and hoping to uncover one of these numismatic treasures in their own collection. The 1963 P Jefferson Nickel, at first glance, seems just like any other coin struck in Philadelphia that year, featuring the familiar left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. But a closer inspection of some very rare specimens reveals a series of almost unbelievable minting errors and production mishaps that transform an ordinary 5-cent piece into a legendary artifact worth tens of millions. These mistakes include but are not limited to dramatic double-die obverse errors, where Jefferson's profile, the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1963, appear ghosted, mirrored, or doubled due to a misalignment during the hubbing process, as well as reverse doubling where elements like Monticello and E pluribus unum show clear signs of secondary impressions that cause the lettering to appear thicker, distorted, or even stacked, errors that when found in uncirculated condition can exponentially increase the coin's desirability. But it doesn't stop there. Some of the rarest and most sought-after examples of the 1963 P 5-cent include those with off-center strikes, sometimes as much as 40 to 60% off, where only a portion of Jefferson's face or Monticello is visible, giving the coin a dramatic crescent-like appearance that visually testifies to the mechanical failure during the minting process. While other nickels from that year have been found with clipped planchets where a section of the coin is missing, entirely due to a misfeed of the blank metal discs into the stamping machinery, resulting in elliptical or irregular missing portions that add an element of extreme rarity. Other major contributing factors to the astronomical value of these coins lie in the discovery of coins with improperly annealed planchets, where the metal composition shows uneven coloring or bubbling due to a failure in the heating and cooling process prior to striking, a flaw that is both rare and fascinating from a metallurgical standpoint. Even more fascinating are the coins found with mirror-like proof-like finishes despite being regular circulation strikes, suggesting that early strikes from freshly prepared dies created a unique and gleaming surface uncommon in typical 1963 nickels, making them highly collectible, especially when graded by top-tier authentication services as mint state with proof-like or deep mirror proof-like designations. An even more bizarre and rare anomaly seen in a few of these coins is the presence of what appears to be a phantom mint mark. Yes, although Philadelphia issues traditionally lack a mint mark, a few 1963 nickels have surfaced with faint markings or residual die impressions that suggest a possible confusion or experimentation with dies intended for other facilities, leading to speculation that transitional dies or experimental strikings may have occurred. This possibility opens up a wide range of hypotheses among coin experts and historians, with some believing these coins may have been trial strikes using leftover or repurposed dies, while others suggest they were part of covert or undocumented tests within the mint's quality control or tooling departments, making each example of such a coin a potential gateway to a larger mystery in mid-century U.S. mint history. There have also been reports of 1963 P nickels being struck on foreign planchets, including those intended for other denominations or even other countries, resulting in coins that weigh less or more than the standard 5 grams, or exhibit a different coloration due to the presence of nickel-copper alloys with altered ratios, and these off-metal errors are extraordinarily rare, often commanding 6- and 7-figure prices at high-profile auctions. The grading and preservation of these coins also play a significant role in their astronomical values, with the highest premiums reserved for those that not only possess one or more dramatic errors but are also graded mint state 67 or higher, with full steps, a term used to describe a perfectly struck image of Monticello's steps on the reverse, being an extremely rare designation for 1963 nickels due to generally weak reverse strikes that year. Thus, a coin with both a major double die obverse, a full steps designation, and high mint state grade can easily reach tens of millions in value due to its one-of-a-kind status. Collectors have spent decades examining bags of uncirculated rolls, cherry-picking bank hoards, and exploring estate collections for that elusive perfect storm of error, grade, strike, and history that makes the 1963 P nickel not just a coin but a legend. The lore surrounding the highest valued example, which reportedly sold through a private transaction for $63 million, involves not only a double die error and off-metal strike but also a possibly experimental or transitional planchet, making it a unicorn in the world of coin collecting. Stories suggest that this particular coin was originally pulled from circulation in the late 1960s by a sharp-eyed collector who noticed strange doubling on Jefferson's I and the word "liberty," only to later realize under magnification and comparison that nearly every detail on both sides was misaligned, raised, and off-centered in such a way that no other known coin matched it. The unique blend of mystery and documented error has made it the subject of countless numismatic journals, discussions, and conferences, with experts poring over photographs and data to understand how such a spectacular error made it out of the mint, survived circulation, and remained in such excellent condition for decades. It's this combination of the unexpected, mechanical flaws, design confusion, metallurgical oddities, and a pinch of bureaucratic mystery, that elevates this coin from a 5-cent piece to a $63 million marvel, proving once again that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight in a spare change drawer or tucked into an old piggy bank. And as we close out today's exploration, remember that while most nickels may be worth their face value, the astonishing tale of the 1963 P 5-cent reminds us all that numismatics is as much about the thrill of the hunt as it is the discovery of an overlooked gem, a mistake-turned masterpiece, and a tiny disc of metal transformed into a fortune. So keep checking your coins, because you never know what you might find, just like the rare 1980 D quarter dollar valued at $80 million. Next 1977 to my channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change and explore the fascinating world of rare coins that are worth far more than their face value. Today's video is one you absolutely don't want to miss, because we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and valuable coins to ever come out of the US Mint, the astonishing 1977 P Jefferson 5-cent coin, a nickel that has captivated collectors and experts alike due to a combination of incredible errors, minting anomalies, and historical quirks that have led to it being valued at an eye-watering $77 million. You heard that right, $77 million for a coin that originally carried a value of just 5 cents. At first glance, it may seem like just another nickel, bearing the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic Monticello estate on the reverse, but a closer inspection reveals a host of unusual characteristics that set it apart from millions of others produced that same year. The 1977 P designation indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not include a mint mark on its coins, but some specimens from this year have surfaced with anomalous or even partial mint marks, either remnants of hand-punched dies, weak strikes, or other aberrations that baffle even the most seasoned numismatists. Some examples of the 1977 P 5-cent coin feature what appears to be a faint P mint mark that shouldn't be there, or in other cases, odd punch shapes that resemble letters or numbers, possibly from misaligned or reused dies. The presence of such irregularities has sparked endless debate in the coin collecting community, as they suggest a possibility of experimental minting processes or accidental die use that slipped past quality control. And the rarity doesn't stop there. Among the most prized variations are those that exhibit multiple strike errors, where the coin was struck more than once in slightly different positions, creating ghost-like overlays of Jefferson's profile and the Monticello structure. These double or even triple-struck nickels are extraordinarily rare, especially in high grades, and command staggering sums at auctions due to their sheer uniqueness. Then there are the off-center strikes, where the coin blank was not properly aligned with the dies, resulting in coins that are partially missing key elements of the design or that have a crescent-shaped blank area along the rim. Some of these 1977 nickels have been found with as much as 50% of the design missing, a highly sought-after error among collectors who value visual impact and rarity in equal measure. Still other specimens show die cracks, lines or fissures in the coin's surface caused by breaks in the die used to strike it, ranging from minor hairline fractures to dramatic, jagged lines that split the coin's surface and give it a one-of-a-kind appearance. These die cracks are evidence of stress and fatigue in the minting equipment, offering a glimpse into the industrial processes of the U.S. Mint and how mistakes can turn into million-dollar marvels when they reach the public. But perhaps the most mysterious and alluring error of all is the planchet anomaly, where the metal blank used to create the coin was flawed from the beginning. Some 1977 P nickels have been discovered with lamination errors, where layers of metal flake off the surface, revealing the internal structure of the coin in mesmerizing patterns. Others were struck on the wrong planchet entirely, possibly intended for a foreign coin or another denomination, which results in a final product with incorrect weight, color, and sometimes even size. A 1977 P nickel struck on a penny or dime planchet, for instance, would be a stunningly rare piece, given the strict controls typically in place at the mint. Yet a few such pieces have reportedly surfaced in private collections, handed down through generations or found in rolls of loose change by sharp-eyed enthusiasts. The provenance of these error coins only adds to their mystique and value, whether they were discovered in circulation, pulled from bank rolls, or unearthed in estate sales. Each has a story to tell and a market eager to pay top dollar for a chance to own it. Authentication by top-tier grading services like PCGS or NGC is crucial in determining the legitimacy and value of these rare coins, with uncirculated or mint-state examples fetching exponentially higher prices than those showing signs of wear. In fact, the record-breaking $77 million valuation stems from a singular, museum-quality 1977 P 5-cent specimen that combines multiple rare errors, a triple strike, severe off-center strike, prominent die crack, and a phantom mint mark, all encapsulated in pristine condition and authenticated as a genuine minting anomaly of national significance. This particular coin was kept in a private collection for decades before being unveiled to the public in a major numismatic exhibition, where experts from around the globe flocked to examine its details. The coin's stunning condition and the improbable combination of so many distinct errors in a single piece make it virtually one of a kind, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that redefines what collectors dream of finding. But even lesser-known examples from the same year can be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the type and severity of their flaws. Collectors are advised to carefully examine their 1977 P nickels under magnification, looking for signs of doubling in the lettering or date, inconsistencies in the portrait or reverse design, edge abnormalities like reading where there shouldn't be any, or unexplained discoloration that could indicate a planchet mix-up. Some advanced collectors use digital microscopes to compare suspected error coins against known minting characteristics, hunting for the tiniest deviations that could signify a valuable piece. Coin forums and online auction sites have become hotbeds for discussion and discovery, where photos of odd finds are posted and debated, often leading to the uncovering of new varieties and market trends. The 1977 P 5-cent coin has earned a kind of legendary status among collectors not just because of its potential value, but because it represents the intersection of art, history, and mechanical imperfection, a testament to how even the most mundane objects can become priceless artifacts under the right circumstances. For those just starting out in the hobby, finding a rare 1977 P nickel might seem like winning the lottery, and in some ways, it is. But it also serves as a powerful reminder to stay curious, keep learning, and always pay attention to the smallest details, because you never know when a 5-cent coin could change your life. So the next time you get change from a vending machine or cash transaction, take a second to inspect that nickel. You might just be holding a tiny piece of minting history worth a fortune. And speaking of fortunes, let's end with an incredible example that still has collectors talking. The famous 1977 P 5-cent coin that recently made headlines due to its auction value of $77 million, a breathtaking figure driven by its triple strike, off-center minting, and phantom mint mark anomaly. All encapsulated in mint state condition and sealed as one of the greatest numismatic discoveries of our time.